Alright, so a quick disclaimer for those of you who have just clicked on this video. If you have not seen the first part to this, I would highly recommend go checking out the first part, because that's when I cover the low end, and it's kind of the intro to this whole entire thing. I really have some good talking points that I really wish that you guys would hear before you start learning about the mid-end of all this kind of stuff that we're going to be talking about, because this is going to be the two mid-end PCs that I'm going to be reviewing for a lot of the people that are going to be looking at this. Watching these videos in sequential order is going to be the best for whatever you're looking at. Again, you can still watch this video. Like I'm not like telling you can't. I mean, I can't even enforce that. So yeah, guys, just make sure if you want to go back around, it gives you a lot of context in what I'm doing here. For those of you who just aren't going to click it, all the links to all these PCs are going to be down in the description. Every single PC on this list, even if I haven't talked about it, they're all going to be down in the description. So yeah, guys, go check all these stuff out. Go follow and like and do whatever you guys want to do. Or we'll get into the first one, which is going to be the Skytech Blaze 2. Alright guys, so the Skytech Blaze 2 is it was kind of an anomaly for me to see when I was spending my hours kind of going through these PCs, making sure that I could get stuff at almost every price point. And making sure that they were the PCs that were the best at their price point. And at the $750 price point, there was really nothing else that competed with this PC. Now, there's a lot of factors into me picking a PC for this list. One of the huge things is reputation. For you guys who are buying these things, I want to make sure that they're not just a piece of junk that you're getting. And especially off of Amazon, it's pretty easy to find something, get it shipped to you, and it's not going to be what you think it's going to be. And for the reviews of this, I read at least 20 reviews, and they all seem pretty good. Now, again, there's a couple of things that might not be something that you would want from this computer, but there's a lot of really good things that this thing is offering. So the first thing is a Ryzen 5 2600. This is a 6-core, 12-thread CPU. It's a great CPU. It runs really well, and it's got 3000 megahertz memory to go along with it. For those of you who don't know, the AMD Ryzen architecture, this is the Zen Plus architecture that it's running off of, is very tied into memory clock speed. So the faster you can get your memory, the better this CPU is going to perform, just because of a lot of the different parts of the CPU are connected by something called the Infinity Fabric, and the Infinity Fabric is clocked similarly to your memory. So just keeping those things able to communicate faster is going to be better for the CPU in general. So the faster you get your memory, the faster your CPU is going to run. So it's great that they have 3000 megahertz memory. A lot of the times you'll see OEMs kind of cheap out in memory. They'll get you the really low stuff like 2666. Which is a really bad idea, especially when you're going with Ryzen. So this is a really nice thing to see when we're talking about these PCs. 3000 megahertz memory is pretty much great. Now, next thing I really liked about this PC was it comes with a GTX 1660. Now, the reason why I said that this thing can even stream is because it has this GPU. All the GPUs in the 16 series and in the RTX 20 series have a NVIDIA NVENC encoder. So an NVIDIA NVENC encoder is something that allows your PC to encode and decode H.264 files at a very, very well resolution, or very, very high resolution compared to what AMD their encoders are able to do. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this if you're doing any sort of content creation, if you're doing any sort of video editing, any sort of whatever, especially game streaming. Your stream's gonna look a lot better when you're streaming your video games and stuff like that. So there's that. Now 500 gigs of SSD is pretty standard. It's a good SSD. It's an HP SSD. It's a SATA SSD. You have an open M.2 slot, so you can upgrade your memory, or your storage rather, whenever you want. Now it only comes with 8 gigs of DDR4, so you can upgrade this. I would highly recommend upgrading this because most games will take more than 8 gigs to run. Now you got the open slot right there. Memory is very, very easy to upgrade. The slot right next to the team group, you see the kind of little open slot. You can put a brand new memory kit in there. Just make sure it's at the same specification of this one, preferably. It's DDR3 or DDR4 rather, 3000 megahertz. It doesn't have to be the same brand, but again, memory is kind of weird sometimes, so just try to get it as similar as to that piece as you can. In other words, this PC is pretty great. It comes with a 1-year warranty and a Bluetooth card, so you're able to connect all your Bluetooth devices that you may want to connect. Any Bluetooth speakers, any Bluetooth anything, you'll be able to connect. As well, this case looks like it's pretty easy to work in. It comes with hinges on the side, so if you ever need to get in, upgrade something, or clean it out, you just swing it open, I presume. I do not have this case, so I cannot tell you. But again, the back I/O looks pretty great. You've got some USB 3.1, you've got USB 2.0 up here, you've got an HDMI, a display port, and a DVI port right here. You've got your 2 antenna right here for your Bluetooth. You got a decent power supply. It's not a bad power supply. It'll give you some room for upgrades. And yeah, it's a great PC, and I think it's definitely the best PC at the $750 range. And it's really accessible to all of you guys because Amazon is something that everybody really has access to across the world. Alright, so the next PC that we're going to be taking a look at is the ABS Mage M. It's a $1,100 PC, so it's a pretty decent chunk of change, but I definitely think it is well worth it. So the ABS Mage M is a Ryzen 5 3600 processor. The main thing that sells it, I'll be talking about the 3600 in a second, but the main thing that sells it for me is the 5700 XT. 5700 XT is like the best 1440p GPU that you can get right now for the price that you're getting it for. This PC has a Ryzen 5 3600 in it. It's a pretty dang fast CPU. It's a generation above the PC that we were talking about last time. Now, it does not have an NVENC encoder on this GPU because it's not an NVIDIA GPU. And it kind of sucks, yes, but this thing just has more raw horsepower than that other one. So in terms of video editing and streaming, you're going to be able to get a lot more usage out of this than the next one. So hopefully it makes up for the discrepancy of the previous one having an NVENC encoder and this one not having one. Now, this one isn't much different. It just has a better CPU and a better GPU. It has a 512 gig SSD instead. And it has 16 gigs, so it's what I was recommending, because this one only has 8 gigs. This one has 16 gigs, and they both have the same speed memory. So that's pretty much all that you would really want in a PC right now. Now these pictures, it kind of sucks because these aren't the pictures that are going to be with these parts, because this is not an AMD GPU in here. I can tell that just from how it looks. It's a Zotac GPU. But assuming that's how all this stuff is going to be put together, this is an AMD motherboard. They're probably going to be using the AMD stock cooler with it. I'm not quite sure. But they're going to be using a SATA SSD with it. So you get, again, the free open M.2 slot like we did on the last board. It's actually almost the exact same board as the last one. Now, this one does not have integrated Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So it kind of sucks in that point. But a lot of people who are gaming at this level or doing productivity are going to be just plugged into their straight router. So, other than that, if you really need Wi-Fi, you might not want to get this one just because of that. But again, you can throw in a Wi-Fi card yourself. It's not that hard. Again, building a PC in general isn't that hard. Just throwing in a Wi-Fi card is pretty easy. So yeah, I mean, it's not anything crazy, but I definitely think just in terms of the sum of the CPU and the GPU, which is the most indicative of the performance that you're going to get, it's basically kind of cut and dry for this. It's better than the one from this. It's at a really good price point. It's got pretty good reviews. Again, doesn't have Wi-Fi. That's really all you need to know for this one. If you're going to buy a PC at $1,100, it's got RGB, it's got everything that you would want in a PC at this size. Yeah, so it's a pretty decent PC, and we'll get on to the next one. Well, actually, no, we won't get on the next one because this is the end of the 1080 to 1440p. So guys, if you want to check out the next video, go subscribe, follow, like, everything, comment down below what you guys want to talk about. But the next ones, I'm not going to be going through these like as in depth as I has been of the other ones, because I got 3 of them I want to talk about. So yeah, we'll be getting into it. Make sure to stay subscribed so you know when that video is coming out. It should be coming out tomorrow. But yeah, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.